Hi, you guys. Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight? Hi. Guys, we're gonna play blah 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 blah. We're gonna play DVD. Hi, Ali. Hi, Star. How are you doing, Box? Oh my god, hi. Hi, Jam. What's up? Hi, everybody. Star, welcome in. How are you, Justin? I'm doing so good. How was the concert? Dude, my friend did so good. The show was so good. Okay, so it's basically like this street fair. Um, uh not too far from, I mean, it's just deeper in the city, like kind of downtown. And it took us 30 minutes to even find parking. It took us 30 minutes to find parking, by the way. Yeah, that wasn't fun. And but my friend did so well. We got there maybe like 10 minutes into his performance, like into his set. And I didn't realize he had a whole hour. Like his girlfriend was telling us that he had a whole hour set, and I was like, oh my god, that's like actually a pretty like long set for like a festival performance like this. Like, that was cool. This is why I Uber or use Spot Hero. Look, dude, like we thought about Ubering. Should have. It all worked out though. Envy, thank you for the check-in. Oh my god, 35 stream star. Wait, my worst nightmare, no, dude. Like, looking for parking is the worst, and it was like honestly bringing me flashbacks from living in New York City and like trying to find parking. I'm doing all right today, Star. I'm 7 for 7 of days I'm working, so work today was very busy. We had a very busy brunch today, but it was still a lot of fun. And then when we got home, the cats are all moved in, so they're not allowed in the office, unfortunately. But they're here, and it's really exciting. Hey, heckin' streams! What the heck? What the hey? That's crazy. Yeah, parking situations stress me out. No, I'm the same way, and it's so frustrating. Sometimes parking can be so frustrating. Envy, how are you today? Yes, yeah. How are you today? I hope you had a great Sunday. How's everybody's weekend? Ali, what were you up to today? Yo, man, ready for some crazy gameplay? Hey, Razzler. Wait, are you in my lobby? Discord me? Oh, I'm good. Tatted Sunday. Me too. Are you going to do solo today, or can a certain girl jet? There's always room for a certain girl named Star. Yeah, let me run some. Let me get some. Let me get warm. Let me flex some of my muscles real quick. And Razzler, is that you? I can't tell. Hey. Take as much time as you need. Awesome start. Thank you. Hi, Ash. Welcome in. Still don't have a fever. No. You downloaded Power World. Wait, are there updates to Power World right now that people are playing more often? Damn, son. So it's a ghost phase. We haven't had a ghost phase in a while. It's ruined. It's ruined! I don't know, but I'm addicted. Dude, so many people have been playing. I have a flashlight, guys. Big whip on the ghost face. Oh, so close. That's a basement. I keep getting distracted trying to catch up with pals. The pals are cute and they got me building and stuff. Yeah, like all the material stuff is so funny. Not the locker play. Right downstairs, I am not staying around for that. Why are you over here?
I owe you one. I've got you next time.
Well, that chase started. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's not personal envy. Star do be busy. Star is super busy always. Did you see that stun there? There. Hi Star, what's up? We have another Star. We have another Star in the chat. How did he? I'm like staring right at him. I'm looking right at him. How is it not revealing him? I'm literally staring at him. What do you mean? I'm watching him perceive me. I was literally looking at him. How do you reveal him? I have to be behind him? I'm so confused. Like, how was he perceiving me? GG's the G. Well, that was the first game on. I love you. Okay, lurking. Hi, Charlie. How are you? Have a good stream. Thank you, Star. Thank you, Charlie. Thanks for the lurk. I miss you, friend. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're having the bestest day. You know what I mean? Something like that. Wow, pick the hot Asian guy. Oh shit. Next time, I got you. I saw it too late. Something like that. I was crying. Dude, I was having so much fun. There won't be a next time. Bye. No, please. Lurking and twerking. Enjoy your twerk. Enjoy your lurk. Thanks for coming in. Come say hi before bed. I got you. I'll tuck you. You have to tuck me in. Get your check-in. Get your check-in.
Okay, wa. Legally, wa.
Open it. Open it. Oh, he's zooming. He's zooming. Oh, he's zooming. Oh, he's zooming. Oh, he's zooming. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm already over here. The slow vaults is so annoying. I'm so bad at the game. Laura nowhere to be seen, by the way.
Get me out of here.
Laura, AFK. Laura's AFK, by the way. Look at her, just standing there. Guys, this is incredible gameplay. The Laura's just AFK. He's just gonna camp the hooks thinking he's on one of us. The Laura's not AFK, by the way. She looked around. She looked behind her. And this Vecna. This is crazy. Yeah, go get her. Like, why are you wasting so much time like everybody else? Go kill her. Laura, why are you AFK? Honey girls, we would not have had these happen. You were AFK. Well, what did we learn? Never trust the Laura. She was just standing there.
Hey, need a drummer?
Hey. Oh, I should be Gabe. Or no. Charlie said hot Asian guy.
이게 현실이 아니길.
For Charlie. Excuse me. What does this do? Oh, nice. All right, I'm locking in because I don't know what happened that last match. I don't have a flashlight anymore. We're healing.
하지 말자. 이건 현실이 아니니까.
Howdy. Why was he so silent? It's haste in the haste. Oh my god, you ugly robot. They got agenda though. Why they both are going for this hook is insane. Those are silly. I even took him away from the hook. That's tunneling. I'm rubber banding. Hello? He's very quiet. There's no progress on this. He doesn't go for this hook. Come on, y'all, lock in. Lock in, guys. Lock in. Oh my god! Guys, can I get some whiffs in there? How many whiffs was that? 2? At least 2 whiffs. Oh. We got at least 2 whiffs in that chase. He's hallucinating. And thank you, Ali. Ash. Oh no, there shouldn't be a cooldown. Maybe there is a cooldown. Try it again. Dog again, I can't.
I love you, bitch.
Oh my god, thank you for the gifted to Ash, Ali. It stays up for so long. Guys, it's one more generator. They'll need to reset somehow. Okay. Savage is coming for the save. He's not a hard loot. I love you, bitch. No, literally. What gen is Nick Cage working on? The one upstairs? I was just gonna say I love him, but now I think if this girl is... I had to cut off because... No. Quentin. The goat. Is it Pallet? No. Hi. Wiggle, 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 Quentin, wiggle! I can't be playing games like this. Come on, Nick Cage. Open. Nick Cage, come back, come. Damn. You didn't even try. I have conviction. We go for the play here. Come on, Savage.
Look at all those chickens!
Come on, Savage. Oh, actually. No, Peach, come back. Come here. Oh my god, Ronnie with the raid! Thank you so much, my friend. Thanks for bringing all the friends. Come here. What? Why are we being such babies? Come on, let's go, lesbians. This is for Ronnie. This is for the raid. Hi, Pancake. Hi, Omar. Hi, Maria. Hi, Soul. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, lesbians. Let's go. Hit me. Yeah, ho. Let's go, lesbian. Not loot bag. 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 Let's go, lesbian. We did that. That was for Ronnie. That was for the raid. Oh my god. Hi, you guys. Hi, everybody. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Hi, Omar. Welcome in. Thanks everybody for getting your check-ins. That means a lot to me. Hi, Soul. How are you? Omar, how's work? How's your job going? I didn't copy, but hi, Pancake. How are you doing, Pancake? Did you call them lesbians? Yes. Look at the lesbian. Let's go, lesbian. Exactly. GG's to this team. You all got out? 4 out. I don't know. Nick Cage didn't want to play, but I got the rest of the team out. I had conviction too. I was ready to use it. I was ready. Let's go, Tay Tay. Tay Tay, you did so good there. OMG, Justin, I felt so bad about my dad joke. I was very much like, oh, Justin knows me, but doesn't know me. Yeah. And no, don't ever apologize. I appreciate that you feel comfortable joking like that with me. Even though I had no idea that little fact about you. Oh, and now Omar is poor. Guys, spare change for Omar. Spare change. Omar, get your check-in if you haven't already. Oh, that was the first thing you did. Never mind. I shut up now. Ronnie, how was your stream? How was DBD? I think I was definitely lurking in there. I was definitely lurking in there, and I knew you were playing DBD, but I wasn't sure what. And your birthday's coming up. Hello. Gamabot hates you. I'm sorry. He kind of does. So bad with the death jokes. I'm all about those kinds of jokes, though. Games were same way. I love even the hard games, so. What else do you have planned tonight, Ronnie? I'm so sad. I've been missing everyone's day streams. Like, those are my work hours, so I'm just not on Twitch in the afternoon anymore, which is just so different than before. I risked my life for Ronnie, and she said games were poo. Oh, wow. Allie, that's crazy.
여기서 벗어나야 해.
Charles. Oh! I hold Allie. No way. I was saying Allie. The gaming with the homies makes you dying instant. Oh, like I was saying. Not holding Allie. Not Allie in the hole. She ran over between her heels and I turned and fell. Oh, I almost missed that. Oh, I almost missed that, guys. Oh. Ooh, okay. Allie go down the hole. Allie go up the hole. I can just imagine. Ah! Am I skinny because of the obsession? I'm running right past the killer now. Yeah. Go take your time. Go take a load off, Rami. Go take a break. Thank you for the break. Thanks for bringing all the friends over. Pancake, I'm so happy to see you. How are your friends? Yeah, go take a break. Hopefully you can get back and come hang out some more. I just don't want to die, guys. Guys, I literally go cross-eyed. Save, Sable, come on. You got this, Sable. Nice. Got us one though. He doesn't realize I'm exposed. Like, at least I'm not exposed. Take me with the boat and the gem. Star! Oh my god. Star, let's play after this. After this match, I'm so down. Like, are we just, you just want to stare at each other? Aurella, please. Thank you. Oh, Sable. That's fine. I did it for spam. That's fine. That's fine. I saved Sable. I didn't think he could stun through that. Hey Jam, how you doing, Jam? Welcome in, welcome back. How's your evening going? How's your weekend? Okay, save the time we got down. Oh, the save. Dude, I can't hit a great check for shit. I'm literally eating shit. Sorry, so sorry. I've missed so many skill checks this match. I'm actually trash. Gotta find Aurella. Downstairs. I don't know where Aurella is. They're right up here. This is not good. Arella never be found. Why did Arella bot out? Sable, please. Sugar Pea, hey, welcome in.
Come
welcome
here.
in. How are you? Well, that's what I get for trying to save Sable. Let's see who's online. Let's get a Swift going. Let's get some friends in here. Look at that. 1, 2 friends. That's 2 friends. Do I smell a 4th? Anybody else want to play? Let's get this game going. I'll put V back on.
Whoa. You play?
Hi, Spookies! Welcome in, Spookies! How you doing? Welcome in, my
Whoa.
friend. How are you doing
Play?
tonight? Hope you're having the best night. Guys, I think I'm gonna try to go for Sabo play. No sabotage, no saboteur, but toolbox. Hi, Spookies! Spookies, get your check-in. How you doing? I am doing okay. I have been really enjoying games. We're open up the lobby to friends. Oh yes, get your check-in. Open lobbies to friends just to hang out with people tonight. To make up for skipping stream yesterday. Just want to make sure I hang out with the homies. Were you in Kevin's stream earlier, Spookies? Were you watching the chaos ensue and peak? I think you were. I also love the blue of your name so much. was in the beginning, and then we got groceries and cooked dinner. When we came back, I was dead. Oh yes, yes, I was very dead. Another spring trap. What happened? What happened, Mr. Springtrap? You couldn't take it. You couldn't take it. This has so much progress on it. Will he let me finish? Y'all were so close. I know, dude, we were so close to the end. Followed you 3 times today, and every time I came back it says follow. What do you mean follow me 3 times? Never. Which is bugging out. There you go. This gen's finished. Let's go to this gen. It's all good, Sukies. I honestly thought you followed me already anyway, so. It's screen and I'll send it to you. It's just like, no. Have fun following someone else. Oh, Rusty. GG's. Good try. Star's almost done with that jam. Spicy bone. Star gets the gen done, goes for save, and I'm gonna finish this one too. Happening? Where's this chase happening? Nowhere near me. I wasn't gonna make that because Laura's there too. Where are you? I'll figure it out. Not this. You want to do the bones? Okay. I'll do this. Good job, Star. Oh, that's so weird about the following thing. I hope it's not buggy. You're not like banned or anything in here. Not that I know of. But you shouldn't be chatting if that was the case, right? Haunted ground. I'm coming, Star, 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 I'm coming, Star. Yeah, I'm going to try it on Chrome. The Twitch. Ooh, wait, is Brave another search engine? How's games been? Games have been really rough. Been a lot of crazy games. I think we got a 4 out once. Hi Kevin. Kevin, how are you? You let me die. You let me die. What do you mean?
Can I get a hand?
And it's known for its safety. Thank you, Rusty.
Whew. Hell yeah.
Also, I saboed this hook so quick, by the way. Hey Kevin, oh my god, a 5.
I'm glad you found me.
What? What did I do to deserve this? How was the rest of your afternoon, my friend? I was so happy to play with you earlier. Can I get a whip? Oh! I thought he was gonna vault behind me. I couldn't tell how close or far he was. Guys, can we get the gen gun? Not the clip. I always have so much fun with Tetris. Yeah, whenever you want to play anything. Oh my God, that's fine. Your game is way louder than me? Oh! Oh! Sent it to Justin. Oh, I see. Why can't spookies follow me? Hashtag free spookies.
Hey, need a drummer?
Oh! The way it automatically unfollows me. Guys, what? I had to get out of there. It's weird with Twitch? No way. Here, we'll chat. We'll chat for a little bit while Star and Mark clutch up. We also have the spot open if anybody wants to join in. I mean, we're just casually playing games. It's no big deal tonight. We won't be really doing lobbies. But we do have a spot. I could do mobile. You're so fucking so schmucking fat. Oh, maybe. Oh, so you think the app will be better than trying to do it on in the browser. Woo! Excuse me. I'll be clipping our peak shit right now. Oh my god, I cannot wait. We had so much fun. Dude, it was so stressful too. Also, guys, should I buy Shane or what?
Another day, another gig.
Now who the fuck is Shane? Shane is the new character, the new survivor. Ali, you think I should? Hold on. Like, look at also the hair, the physics of his hair is so funny. That's his name. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot. You're not really into DBT anymore. I kind of want different pants. Let's see what other pants he has. I have to save up. I have to know how much money I have. I'm gonna have 600 coins after. I don't really like his shoes. This is the best bottom he has. Who's back? Someone's back. All damn night. Like, these fits are so cute. Nah. This skin is crazy. Oh, did you guys survive? Be honest. Oh, I fucked up. What are you? Star. The Survivor and Spider Killer later come out, or wait, that's the old new Survivor. This is the old new Survivor. The new Survivor. I think the new Survivor and new Killer come out in August or something. You need him. I don't think that one came out yet. Yeah, no, I don't think that one's come out yet. Accidentally body block. No! Isn't that the worst when you're trying to be helpful? Come on, Dwight. Get with another star. Wait, there's a star. Oh, I wish my name is Star. Kevin, does the game sound better, or everyone in chat, does the game sound better compared to me now? Like, do I sound louder than the game when I speak is really like the whole thing, you know? Better? Okay, good. Yeah. I mean, it's a shitty mic, so it's not going to be great. I was actually watching my VODs back on YouTube, which if you don't know already, if you need something to listen to in the background, if you don't get to catch all the streams, all my streams are on YouTube. The VODs you can watch back since January, and let me know how the stream has changed since then. Is it bad? It's just game volume in comparison. Okay, good. That's good. When you're in chase, we'll check again. Yeah, when the music's loud. Hey. Hey. It's a Jason! Jason. I love Jason. It's so fun to go against him. He's close. Oh, he's going. Nice Star. I just know he missed. Hey, Dwight. His chase music fucks. I love his chase music. The strings. Good job, Star. Fucking A, bro. Damn, he has 24 ping. Oh my god, our teammate has 100 ping. Than you, so lower it's had more. Okay, bad. There you go, that should work. Way better. I appreciate it, Spookies, thank you. I always appreciate all the feedback for audio, and especially because I can't always tell how the audio sounds, you know? Like, especially, oh, that's why we have the new Kevin. Because you and Ronnie come in here and you tell me that the game sounds crunchy. I literally made a crunchy command. So you could tell me without being like, it's crunching. Oh, the crunchy. Yeah. Dude, it's so hard to tell when you're a streamer. No, literally. I thought there was a gem here. You had double audio? I'm sick. And listen to yourself? No, literally. What? Every killer has had Ruin tonight. I'm just gonna go for save, yeah. In the basement? Star, please.
Next one's on me.
We have to go. Let's go, lesbians. Oh. Oh, the chase is happening right here. Never. He's coming right back. Go. Go. Ugh, I'm so pissed. so pissed, Star. I tried. Cookies, do you like this song? Or are you dancing to the Jason music? Why'd I scream? He's upstairs. Why is he being greedy? Go, 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 Star. We gotta go. Star! Star! Oh no! It's okay, I have a conviction. Just get out. Come on. Oh man. Well. Redeem sandbag, everyone. No, please. It's been good enough time of my own. Ruining my own game. Oh. Oops. Oh shit. The Dwight is just letting it happen, by the way.
I'm glad you found me.
Oh! Ah! Not like this.
You play?
Get me Billy Mays. Literally. Like, what do you mean? You have yet to play against Jason? Kevin, come play with us. Can that be a redeem, please? Wait, the Billy Mays. I have to write that down. Let me write that down. Logging on. Yes, Kevin, come play. Come play with me and Star and Mark. Oh, this. I'm gonna have a cough drop for fun, guys. Oh, yeah. Trust me. I go into DBD jail all the time. Fog jail, if you will. Let's get Kevin in here. Oh.
That was great. You're brilliant. I've never
Sounds like
seen
Kevin. Oh!
live television before. What?
I'm gonna have a cough drop for fun. Justin Leon! Hey now. Oh my god, it's Kevin! Kevin, you gotta dust off that flashlight, my friend. 4 cough drops in an hour? No, I'm just having one. In like a week. Oh my god, all the friends are here. Wait, I have to be Gabe for this moment. For the one time. For candy that could be eaten as often as he wanted? Kevin! These aren't Jolly Ranchers. They're Jolly Drops. Our sweet summer child. Guys, what should I listen to, y'all? Guys, okay, hear me out. I don't like candy, but I like sour candy. For Latinas. Ass shaking music. You gotta shake your ass. Shake a tambourine. Candy and sour candy, another say you're goody. Exactly, they're not the same. Sour candy is just so much better than candy, you know? But I don't like candy. Like, I would never grab candy. I would grab chocolate, also not candy. Do we agree? Are we in agreement? Sour bubblegum? Ooh. Gummy worms are not the same as candy. Exactly. They're closer to candy, I would say, than chocolate is. But it still isn't really candy, it's gummy worms. Kevin, run! Oh. Oh, he's after Mark. He don't care about me. That's fine. He left me. Kevin, run! Now, why would he come back over here? Oh! It's so close! I was so close! Oh! Oh yeah, I took. Oh, Justin, no, I took them. I took them off. I know. I disabled quotes because. Okay, I do need the game a little louder, but maybe I'll make my mic louder. Um, James, what was that? Top 3 fave sweets? Okay, it's definitely... And why are they all chocolate? I'm gonna go for Mark. Kevin's off. Oh my god. I'm gonna go for heal. No, here, come here. That's why he killed you, because of friends? Oh my god. Drop it! That was weird. Just leave me on hook for now. Oh, you're fine. No, because he's coming right back. He's on Kevin. I'm so confused by this guy. We need to get on another gen. Do you have a Sprouts near you? Ooh, wait. No. Wait, tell me what Sprouts is. It sounds like either plants or vegetables. Oh. Not the... Ooh. Got excited because I was like, maybe it's a grocery store. I don't think so. Wait. No. But for some reason, like, Sprouts is a name I know. Why is that? And why is that? Is there a snack at Sprouts that you like the most? Okay, Spookies, wait, also to answer your question, it's gonna be like Twix, it's gonna be like peanut M&Ms. Peanut M&Ms. Let me think. He keeps going in and out of power, or do you keep stunning him? Star, let him get up off the ground. Is this gen finished? Okay. That gen's finished. Okay, so the other gens are all on this side. Got it. Got it. There. That gen. The first gen. Oh, and Shaq's finished too? Damn, wait. That's poor. Burbish! Hey Burbish, welcome in. Get your check-in, friend. How are you doing? If you do, you have to get the gummy bears, worms. Ooh. Stars, that's Shaq. You got the star. Good try. Where's the... Oh, I don't have a toolbox anymore. Peanut M&Ms. Ooh, yes. I love peanut M&Ms. No thank you to chocolate. You don't like chocolate? Unless it's peanut butter? Well, that's not chocolate. That's peanut butter. I'm gonna go for save. Finish the gym. Oh, Shaq isn't finished. Shaq looked done. Let's go. Time for another chase. Come on, Kevin, ready? You ready, Kevin? Let's go! Let's go, lesbians! Go, 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 go! There's no Shaq pallet. There's no 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 pallet. No, 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 no. Oh. Please be healing. Okay. Hot chocolate, sea salt caramel, ooh, Reese's, ooh, and cream cones. Oh, I've never heard of cream cones. Chocolate is the best thing ever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's okay, Ronnie. You're still in a safe space. We know that it's okay. You're just a little different, you know? A little different from us. That's crazy, raw dog. Oh. W life. He's just camping me. He wants me dead. For real. Right after Star. He's looking for. He's back at the gym. Super good. Oh, that sounds so good. Ronnie, it's okay. Well, I'm glad I cannot like chocolate in this space. Yeah. Yeah. We're not sending the pitchforks after you. Star. Oh, obsession changes with every hook. How'd that happen? What's that like? What does that mean? Leaving me slugged is kind of nasty and dirty. Friends. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, Ronnie, I'm sorry. Not on your birthday. You know what's better than chocolate? 365 days. Facts on facts on facts on facts. Toxic VP. Her life was changed? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? I'm confused. I don't know how to read. Guys, I cannot believe that happened. Well, that was fun. I kind of want to play as with a flashlight, though. Like, I know the medkit has kind of been slaying. Apologize to Ronnie for not liking chocolate because it's her birthday soon. Yeah. Okay, wait, Ronnie. Happy birthday. How soon is your birthday? When is your birthday? Like what day of the week? And then take it back the next day. I'm sick. Thank you, Spookies. Toxic VIPs bully Ronnie. Yeah. Now I understand. This is so nice. I love when Spookies gives me a recap. And that's what you missed on Glee. Okay, Ronnie, so
I've seen better
what
days.
are your top
That's for
3 candies? If you don't like chocolate, or maybe sweets. Sweets is a good way to put it. We're talking about actors, and she said she liked the actor Michelle Maroney, and we asked if she had seen him in 356 Days, and she said no, so we bullied her to watch it. Life changed. Bullying people for the better. Let's bring back bullying. It clearly works. Bring it back. that, that is such a funny email. Let's bring back bullying. You've seen 356 Days. No. No. I know you wrote yes, but my answer was no. Let me see. "356 Days" movie. 365 Days is a Polish erotic romantic drama film consisting of 365 days. 365 days this day and the next 365 days. Is it that movie? Lead cast Michelle Maroney. It is the show. Guys, it's the gunslinger. Oh, he's over there. That was scary. Very sexy times. 360 by 360. Very. You thought we were already deciding to pick cheesecake over BJ's. BJ's? Cheesecake over BJ's? Wait. Back it up. Back it the fuck up. Because what? In whose world? Deathslinger's the worst. Deathslinger is... his little sounds is like a run. So scary. I'm so bad at the game. Well, movie time. Bye, Ronnie. Bye, Ronnie. I hope you have the best night. I hope you enjoy your movie. And I hope to be able to hang out on your chat soon. Hopefully, I'm able to catch some of your streams soon. Again. Just been missing all the daytime streams. The red and gold Deathslingers? Hi. 8-hour B-Day stream on Thursday. Guys, go check Ronnie out. Here, let's give Ronnie a shout out. I could have sworn he saw me. Guys, let's all go hang out at Ronnie's stream on Thursday, please. Ronnie's birthday stream. I'll stop by. Yes. All the friends. Ooh. Okay. Good job, Kevin. Kevin's a pro. Good try. I'm sorry, Star. Pick up. Oh. Why is he tunneling Star? I'm sorry, Star. That's what Death Singers do. We've been saying this the whole time. I lost all my progress in that generator. He got an aura reading on me for some reason. He got an aura reading on me for some reason. How did he get aura on me? He could see me healing. He wanted a piece of this. You were eating him up all the way. I'm sorry about the healing. I literally saw him coming. I should just... We should have started running way sooner. How does he know I'm in here? How does he know I'm in here? Gonna run some games. Oh my god, thank you for being here, Spookies. That means so much to me. How does he know exactly where I'm at? Like, how do you know where I'm at? Why are you BMing me? I didn't even do anything to you. What a weirdo. It's okay, you're weird. LOL, weirdo. Because that's a testing. That was so strange. Why would he behave like that? He wants attention, I guess. That was so ridiculous. And you know what I do? Every time that happens, look at that. Blocked. Blocked. Oh, is it you? Yep, blocked. Yeah, I think it is you. I think I know who it is. Kevin said, I know. Kevin. Wait, did we lose Mark? Okay. Mark's done. Mark's like, I'm sick of this. Things will be different, guys. I promise. This is for Mark. Blah blah blah. Why is that guy's name? Blah blah blah. And runs and probably runs for 5 gens. No, literally, blah 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 and last man standing. Blah blah blah, and he carries the team. Excuse me. Let's try this again. Okay, I'm done clipping. Did you get all the fun clip? You have to send me the video. Oh, it's a nemesis. That's a second gen finish. Full reset. Damn, he's just M2ing. Just a whip. Just him and a whip. Just him and a whip. Oh, hey. Thank you. Oh. I thought you were finished. That zombie is knocked out. I thought the zombie found me. Nemi! I know, him and his big ass fist. He's on patrol. He's on patrol. He found me. He saw me. He left me? He went back to the hook. Whatever. Oh, everyone's just doing something different. Kevin, come here. Guys, let's get on another gen. Oh, where is it? I got stuck on a rock, bro. No way, you hitting those grades on healing and missed the overcharge. I know, like, what is wrong with me? Not blah blah blah. Like me just running through my heals and I can't hit a skill check on the generator. for shit. And a killer will not leave me slugged for shit. I can't get my conviction saves for shit. I'm shit. Thank you. Gen's finished. No renewals anywhere. Kevin, both doors will be open. Kevin, where are you? Yes, get out, guys, get out. Go, Star, go, go, go. Yeah, get out, get out. GG's blah blah blah. Where's blah blah blah? Anyway. Where is blah blah blah? Jesus! No excuse. I saw a great company last week. Oh, was it the one with the Palisade? And then I escaped? I need to go back and clip that. I can do one more. Yeah, this is my last one too. Last game. We're gonna eat. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. A Bubba maybe? I think it was a Billy. And ran out, I know. Let me go back. I think he clipped it too. Yep, it was this game. It was against a...
Or seen a place like this.
Is that an unknown? This is it. This is the clip. It's a Billy. It's a Billy. It's a Billy. Oh no, it stops so it stops before I get out. That was such a fun game. I should go back and clip some of these matches from that stream. That was on Monday. Or no, that was on Sunday. The chainsaw? No, yeah. Kevin, I can't wait to see that clip farm of the peak stream. Of the peak games. Dude, I had so much fun with you all. It was honestly such a good time. Guys, I have such a long day tomorrow. I have to be up and at work by 9 o'clock. You're transferring to your phone? Ooh. So do you edit all your clips on your phone? Do you find it easier to do than if you were doing it on your PC? Yeah. Is it easier to do? At least for me it is. I know a lot of people who say that too. A lot of people say it's way easier to edit on your phone. It's a blight. commute to work. It's like a 35-minute drive, which, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it means I have to get there before 9 o'clock, you know. It just adds to time in the morning. Yeah. Kevin, he don't want me. He wants Kevin. Kevin, run! Good job, Star. And you got the gen done. Oh my god, you icon. Oh, you guys are not on the same gen. The cap light? Yeah, I like the little... I'm just the boulder. Yeah, I work... Well, Allie, like, I work 7 days every week. Like, I just work 7 days a week. For the next foreseeable future. Like, unless I take time off, which I don't really mind at the moment, but I'm sure I'm gonna get exhausted. He's coming right over here. Kevin, I'm coming. No! Don't mind me, just hanging out. No, Star! Star! I could have taken that hit. I could have totally blocked that hit from you. Good try, Star. Where did our teammate go? The random won't take a chase, won't take a hook. The random's hiding. I'm so confused. Door! GG's, IG. She went to the basement. I'm so confused. What the random is doing. You better not heal her, Kevin. I'm weak. Well, everyone got out. I thought you would have made it. He literally avoided me to try to get the hit on you, and that timed out my endurance for a medikit. Dude, what? GG's, I suppose. I would have totally had so many more points if I'd gotten out. Anyway, it's fine. 3 out, that's fine, that's fine. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, you guys. Thank you for the games, Kevin. Thank you for the game, Star. Kevin, I was so happy we got to hang out like all day today. Like, Peak was so much fun. I cannot wait to see that video when you're done with it. Star, it's always a blast playing with you. Thanks so much for coming in and being like, hey, can we hang out? Like, what's a girl got to do to get a spot in the fog? I love you too, Kevin. Honestly, Kevin and I have been friends. Guys, okay, here we go. I think my Mari Mr. Rosa is busy. So let's go follow Star. Go follow Kevin. Go follow, who else was in here? Ronnie. Go follow, isn't Spookies also streaming sometimes? Who else is in here that streams? Burbish. Go follow Burbish. Go follow little Burbish and get a twig. Let's see, who else am I missing? Soul. I'm looking back at all the check-ins to see. Dr. Jam. I think that's everybody. All of the shout-outs. Everybody go follow everybody. If you're not doing so already. Also, stream schedule will go live tomorrow. I'm playing Fortnite tomorrow after work, so I'm gonna be exhausted, guys. But if you want to play Fortnite with me, please let me know in Discord. I would love to get some games in with people. Maybe I'll run some solos. Like, God, Fortnite. But um, it'll only be fun if somebody joins me. So please let me know if you want to play. Ooh, Fortnite. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing Fortnite. Um, yeah, maybe I'll ask Matt. We'll see. Boy, how do you do it after work? I don't know how, but I'll be exhausted when I am. I'm so dead. I know. I'm so dead even now. I love you guys so much. Who do you want to raid today? Should we just not raid? Not many people are live. Charlie's live. I feel like I always raid Charlie on Sundays. My Sunday night raid to Charlie. Maybe. He did say to go say goodnight. Let's go raid Charlie. Charlie. Dog. Um Hi Envy. You're just in time for the raid. Yeah, everybody, copy those raid messages. We're gonna go hang out with Charlie. I'm gonna raid and run like I always do. But I will be live tomorrow playing Fortnite. I hope you guys come and hang out with me on my Monday streams. Remember, we're adding Monday to our stream schedule every other week. Next week is the Monday week. The week after won't be. So that's just how we're gonna do it now. And see how that goes. See how that feels. See if I can take it. You know what I mean? Anyway.
Have you ever had a Krispy Kreme?
Well, have you ever had a
Have you
Krispy
ever gone to
Kreme?
Krispy
Yeah.
Kreme?
Have you ever gone there
Was it
to Krispy
crispy?
Kreme?
No.
Was it crispy?
Right. Right.
Right. Right. Okay. I love you guys so much. Everybody have a great night. Everybody have a strong start to your week. Remember, stream is so much fun because you're here. And I wouldn't do this if it wasn't to hang out with you guys. So thanks for making it worth my time. And I'm glad that this is a space that you find worth yours. Let's go hang out with Charlie and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.